Welcome to the Coach Zing Show, dedicated to helping you work less, earn more, and help more people through creative content marketing. This show is brought to you by CoachZing.com, a marketing and publishing company for people who help people. And now, here's your host, Doug Foresta.
Hello, welcome back to the Coach Zing Show, brought to you by CoachZing.com, marketing and publishing solutions for people who help people. And I am just so excited. We are back with another great guest. I have to tell you that, like I said, if you're a therapist or a coach and you're looking for creative content strategies, and if you're a therapist or a coach, you should be looking for creative content strategies. We just have the best of the best, and today is no different. Dan Morris is with me today. He is a blog revenue coach, and he founded and operates Blogging Concentrator. You're going to learn a lot about blogging and about monetization, and you'll get a lot out of this episode. So without further ado, I want to welcome Dan Morris to the show. Dan, thank you so much.
I appreciate it, man. This is rocks.
Thank you. So let's get down to it. Let me ask you, first question is, what is your favorite content marketing strategy?
Voice.
Can you say more?
Voice would be number one.
So what do you mean by voice?
I mean that content, some people say content is king, but I got to tell you, content is everywhere. And in fact, content is everywhere. I mean, it's so prolific that it's almost costs you more work than it used to, because now your content has to be so much better. It's got to be, really quality images and headlines, and it's got to really, grab people's attention, because no matter what the topic is, it's not like there's only one person out there talking about YouTube strategy. There's 5,000. So the return on investment on content, is a lot lower than it used to be. So the one thing that we find, for all of our clients that rises above everything is voice. If you really understand your clientele, your audience, and you're able to speak in a tone and a syncopation and in words and tense that resonates with them, then it doesn't matter how much other content out there that you're competing with. It's a little bit like blue ocean strategy, in that voice separates you from everyone else, because how many posts can you read about the top 7 things you need to be doing in podcasting? It's there's 1,000. So it all comes down to, do you really know who you're talking to, and is your message tailored to that audience so that they actually feel it in their bones that you're talking to them, and then they're compelled to tweet, pin, share, like, and comment? Or have you not spent enough time really figuring out who your people are, and you're pretty much just speaking your own language and hoping that people are reading what you're writing? And so for us, my favorite content marketing strategy is know exactly who you're talking to and make sure that content speaks volumes to them.
And one of the things that I wonder, one of the things that I found is that if you listen, right, if you listen to what your clients are telling you or what people are saying, oftentimes it's not that it's much more powerful if I give something back to someone that they've said to me, rather than me creating some other thing. I mean, I wonder if you've had that experience.
Oh, definitely. It's almost like, are you listening as well as you're speaking? Yeah, I'm on board with you there for sure. And I think one of the other keys to voice is, in that regard, is knowing, I don't know what, some people call them tribal terms or proprietary phrases or whatever you want to call them, but the language, the lexicon of your audience. Like shoppers, shopping sites talk about BOGOs all the time, which is buy one get one free.
I would have never known that. I'm clearly not a shopper. Yeah.
So, but that being the case, when they don't explain BOGO, because you're part of the community when it's not explained, and like the word Vulcan will be thrown around in the Star Trek community, and nobody explains what that is, because if you're part of the community, you don't need it explained. And golfing sites might say something about it was a two club win today. As if they had to use two clubs stronger to get past the wind. So anytime you can speak the language of the community, and they know other people don't understand because they feel like they belong, you're back to voice.
What would you suggest for someone that is just starting out as a coach or therapist? And I know that this connects to what you're saying, but someone that's really just getting started out, they really haven't put a lot of content out there yet. Where would you suggest that they start? Give us the Dan Morris action plan.
For where to start?
So where to start? They really haven't shared anything yet, haven't really put much online or anywhere else. Where would you suggest people start?
I would suggest that you start with a site called Talkwalker. Now, it used to be called Google Alerts, but Google Alerts is pretty much going away. I mean, it's no longer supported, so I wouldn't put any time and energy into it. But Talkwalker, which is an alert service, will apprise you anytime a term that you're monitoring shows up online. So if you're coaching direct sales, a particular, maybe you're really good with Avon, you're an Avon sales coach, then, I'd start to think about the kinds of things that people talk about when they need help growing their Avon business. And I'd put those things in Talkwalker, and I would participate in every conversation you can possibly get into on the web that has anything to do with that. Anytime you see somebody talking about, growing your Avon sales team, I would be there on that blog, leaving a comment. I would be replying on Twitter. I'd be joining the forum, and I'd be leaving 2,000-word blog posts in the forum about best strategies to help those people. I would seriously go after the people who want exactly what you know about, and show them what you know. Become the expert.
Yeah, I can imagine that's so much more powerful. Thank you for sharing that. I hadn't heard of Talkwalker. That's brilliant. I'm going to do it myself. What I love about that is it's exactly it. You're demonstrating that you can provide value. You're not telling people that you're an expert. You're showing people.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've got one client, jackcruise.com. He gets, 5,000 to 8,000 people per day coming to his website from other forums where he's led discussions, per day. He just goes after it, and he doesn't hold back in the forum. Like he provides every tidbit of knowledge. He doesn't care if it's 200 words or 5,000. He's going to be the expert. And a lot of people, they hear me say this, and then they'll go to forums and they'll just start asking questions as if they're going to start some sort of conversation. But experts don't ask questions; they answer questions.
That's a very good point. I see people do that a lot, like on LinkedIn too, where people ask these questions that are kind of like leading questions toward their business, and it's actually quite annoying. So I think that's a really great point. I love that. Experts don't ask questions; they answer questions. That's powerful.
Word.
So I'm curious too, in that example where you're bringing people back to your website, what is he bringing people back to? Is it like an opt-in, or how is he bringing people back? I mean, how do you bring people so you're answering questions, and how do you bring them into your world, into your funnel?
Well, in a forum, I mean, you've got to toe the line between spam and sales and information. Mm-hmm. And if you always walk on the side of information and you over-deliver by a tremendous amount, people say, dude, who is this guy? They click on your profile, and all they do is they click on that link in your profile. And, it's been 5,000 to 8,000 people a day for 3 years coming from forums. So some people say it doesn't work, but man, I got analytics up the wazoo that will show you that if you're the expert, people will follow you.
That's brilliant. I love. So what it sounds like to me is it's attraction, right? It's people are attracted to you because you are over delivering and you're providing such tremendous value. So you don't have to say, hey, come here. People are doing it because they want to do it.
Yeah, and you can't be the expert in 3 sentences. Like, you can't do this strategy and then go and write 3 to 5 sentences in a forum and think that you're going to make any kind of impact. You got to leave it all on the table.
So leave your best stuff. Lead with your best stuff.
You got to
Don't
really
hold it back.
Provide the background, provide the slide, recognize the different kinds of people that are there, and answer different ways. I mean, go for it.
One of my favorite questions I love to ask on this show and is what's one of the craziest, funniest, or most creative pieces of content that you've ever put out, and what was the result?
I did. You sent me this ahead of time, and I thought funniest. I don't know if we've done funniest.
Or craziest or most creative. It doesn't have to be funny necessarily.
We do a lot of direct mail follow-up campaigns where we'll get someone's name, email, address, and phone, and then we'll send them mail. And on occasion, a guy that we work with, he had the idea of sending trash cans to people's houses. And there's a couple of different sites you can do this with. You can actually send mail in a coconut if you want. But you basically, if they haven't been opening your emails or responding to you, just print out your message, wad it up into a ball, throw it into a trash can, and mail it to them, and say, hey, since you haven't been opening anything we've been sending you, we thought we'd take the liberty of throwing it away. But if you're interested, we'd love to offer you X, Y, and Z.
I love that, and then I wonder how I respond if I got a message in a coconut. I know I would read it. That's for sure. I know I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't throw that away, and that's brilliant. So I love that too, because then it's like we always think about online, forget about the offline strategies to follow up too. And I know there's people who I'm on their list or I joined. I'm in a paid membership, and I love that they do send. That they do a mixture, that they do send me, they actually send me, stuff in snail mail as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you really want to get somebody's attention. You send them your favorite book via Amazon with a card inside, because there's not a person on the planet that doesn't open their Amazon package. That's
true. That's very true. And now, especially if they come with little robots flying, I will definitely open it.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure the hunters of America have decided they're going to be on the lookout for that.
Absolutely.
They're gonna get themselves an MP3 player.
That's good point. It'll never make it to my house. It'll end up somewhere over the woods.
No, I've seen the cartoons now.
What do you think? I mean, you work with a lot of people. You help a lot of people with. We're going to talk about what how you help people specifically. But you work with a lot of people, help them with blogs. What do you see as the biggest mistakes that people make when they're putting content out?
Oh, it's very simple. Just the lack of focus. People have multiple blogs, and then on their blogs they got multiple categories and different things they're talking about, and they just lack the focus. If you can really laser in on something, it doesn't matter to me if you're going to end up with 10 or 20 blogs over the course of your life, or 5 or 6 businesses. If you can focus on one part of that for any period of time and just focus on it, then you're really going to make amazing strides. But trying to divide any content strategy among 2 blogs, or 10 categories, or 20 categories among 2 blogs, or any particular thing, once you divide it, your momentum slows down. You don't make the progress as quickly. You don't have you don't ramp up the right kind of traffic, which means you don't end up having the analytics, which means you can't make decisions as quickly. It's just focus. Like, if you can just pick something and go after it, once we attain it, when we're making some money, and the revenue's coming in, then let's divert our focus and start creating a new revenue stream. But most people, they're just shooting, shotguns in the wind.
I think it's so easy to do that online, where there's always the next, they call it the bright shiny object, right? Where people are running from one thing to the other, and they're always looking sometimes for like instant gratification, or they just don't. What I hear you saying is like it's consistency.
Consistency within a focused mindset.
Yeah.
I mean, I like consistency. I don't even mind inconsistency if you're still focused and maybe you go on vacation, so you can't do 2 blog posts a week for a month, but at least it's all directed at the same goal.
Okay, got it. But it's more so, it's just when you spread yourself out into all these different things, then people go, what's going on here?
You never really achieve any sort of mass. And once you get some mass and you got people talking about one topic, or, a bunch of people commenting on one thread or one stream, or, all about one thing, whether that's as broad as blogging or as narrow as YouTube strategy. I mean, if you can just focus on the thing, then you will achieve enough mass that you'll start getting data. And then with data, you can make decisions, and you'll start getting feedback, and that feedback turns into comments, and the comments turn into SEO, and then you get more traffic, and it just snowballs. But one blog post here, and then a TV episode there, and then being interviewed about something over there, and then doing your hobby tomorrow, you just never get there.
What do you think that's about? I mean, in your experience, what do you think that's about that people lose focus like that and start being all over the place?
Most people online have another job.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody really, there just aren't that many people who really feel the pressure and feel the pinch. So they have this income, whatever it is on the side, their day job or whatever it is, and that income provides this level of security that doesn't enable them to take on the entrepreneur mindset that you really get as a real business owner.
Yeah, as the way I've heard it, when you eat what you kill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good point. So even if you do have a day job, you really have to take on that entrepreneurial mindset.
The people who have a day job and really get to the point where they can quit, they were really hyper focused for some time.
Yeah,
they really went after it.
Well, I want to make sure that we talk about what you do and how you help people with blogging. Do you want to say a bit about how you do help people and what I talked about how you founded and you operate Blogging Concentrator, but can you say a bit about that and what that is?
Yeah, I would say that we've pigeonholed ourselves from a lexicon standpoint to blogging, but we definitely work with online business owners, whether they have a blog or not, and we do a lot with brands, businesses that are trying to operate their blog, trying to figure out how to use it, and in some cases, we help companies figure out how to work with bloggers because they don't quite grasp the concepts. But our main core focus is finding people who have an online business and want to make it their full-time revenue, want to make it their full-time income. And we do that a variety of ways. We put out blogging concentrated workshops. We have 5 different curriculums. We do one-day workshops in different cities, probably 27 or 30 cities a year. In fact, we're on a quick hiatus at the moment. We just left Asheville, North Carolina, and then we go to Boston starting August 2nd. And then I think we're in San Francisco and Orlando and Denver and Seattle, Milwaukee and Lansing. We're in a lot of cities in the fall. So that's our primary outreach is finding a new clientele, is going to different cities. And then once inside the community, we have a forum on Facebook where it's called Free Weekly Mastermind, and it's a free forum. It's spam and drama free, and it's entirely about how to take your business to the next level in terms of making money. And then from there we have a paid membership where we provide, it's kind of an email delivery membership. We provide all kinds of material every month. It's called BC Prime, and we take the top business books every month and we break them down and teach you what the business book said and how you can implement that in your business. We do a couple of traffic interviews with people whose websites get a lot of traffic. What is it they're doing? We create what I call toolkits. For instance, Instagram was the latest toolkit we sent out, and it was every site that was related to and supporting Instagram, all the different sites where you can print out your pictures and make products, where you can get your Instagram statistics, hashtag tracking around Instagram, pretty much everything you'd ever want around one subject. And we deliver that over the course of a month via email, and then we also offer mastermind sessions and one-on-one consulting, and we do a 3-day workshop in the fall that's entirely about SEO. We take 10 people and we just work on their sites for the whole weekend.
And how can people, if they want to find out more about that, how can they do that?
I would say the best way is always to go to bloggingconcentrated.com, and right on the front page there we have a book giveaway. It's 25 things to sell across 23 niches. Just gives you a lot of brainstorm ideas to really open up your eyes how you could be deriving revenue. And if you sign up there and grab that book, we'll keep you updated on all that we're doing.
Great. And then my final question for you is, you talked about you interviewing other people, so it's a good segue into this, about what is your favorite, aside from your own, motivational book or blog or podcast that you like?
We actually added, because of this, well, in not because of the question, but along with the question, we implemented a new part of BC Prime, and that was, I was saying that we summarize business books, but
yes,
I've decided that a more exciting thing to do for the community would be to review TED speeches, TED and TEDx, and other business speeches, and then kind of give you a 1 or 2 minute synopsis of what it's about and why you should watch it, so that you know whether you're going to waste your time or not. But my favorite's probably that, is real entrepreneurs just kind of spilling their guts on a topic. I love TED speeches.
Yes, they're great. Thank you. That's a great answer. So we're going to wrap it up. I just want to remind our listeners that if you're interested in learning more, maybe you're interested in writing a book yourself, you might be interested in we have our Speak to Publish done for you system, where you can create a book virtually hands-free through the power of your own voice, as well as we also have our Book Blitz package, where we can help you become an Amazon bestselling author. I want to thank Dan Morris for joining me today and for sharing great content. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming on, and love to have you back in the future. Thanks for being a charter guest on the Coach Thing Show.
Dude, it was a good time, man.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Take care, everyone. We'll be back tomorrow with more great guests and helping you with creative content marketing to work less, earn more, and help more people through creative content marketing. Take care, everyone. This is Doug Forrest at the Coach Thing Show.
Thank you for listening to The Coach Zing Show. If you've enjoyed the episode, please make sure to subscribe to the show on iTunes and Stitcher Radio and leave a review. Tune in next episode for more advice on how to work less, earn more, and help more people through creative content marketing.